Are you tired of hearing about these yet? Hopefully not, because here comes another one. Hey guys, welcome back. So I got Friday favorites and Fooeys for you today, and I would say, kind of still, I'm like thinking through, what did I actually do? I would say kind of neutrals, smoky liner still, just with shadow, and I love this lip color. You can probably guess what it is, but clearly a different color. Neutral glowy sort of a cheek, so was loving that. Yeah, just some fun things, a new thing, and some revisited favorites. Really wasn't playing with a ton, but really enjoyed the stuff that I was using. So let's get to it. For eyes, I busted out my Colourpop Truly Madly Deeply palette. This is a really pretty neutral palette that kind of has a springy spin to it, is how I would describe it, because it's got these kind of pinky peachy sort of colors and then some plums in it that are just really pretty. So there are some in here that are just, you know, true neutral colors, but then the others kind of lean a little bit springy to me. So I think it's just beautiful. Great formula to it. And there are definitely some shades in here that you can use as blushes as well. If you're like me and you like to sometimes use your shadows as cheek products, this totally has some colors in there that works. And I feel like Colourpop, their shadows are some of the best on the cheeks used as cheek products. Now I never, like I've mentioned before, I never expect an eyeshadow to perform well as a blush or a bronzer or a highlighter because it's an eyeshadow. So I'm never upset if it doesn't work for that. But if it does, that's just kind of an extra bonus. And I feel like Colourpop definitely does work well on the cheeks. So that was a tangent. There are definitely some colors in there that work well on the cheeks. So just FYI, this one too as a highlighter. Let me go ahead and just swatch some of these since I'm just babbling on about them. And I'm gonna totally run out of fingers because there are the swatches. See, that totally looks like a cheek palette. How pretty. But that's really, I mean, I wore this one. Well, which one? Nope, didn't even swatch the one that I did wear a lot. I wore this one on my eyes. These are just bonuses, basically, is what I'm trying to say. These that I just swatched, bonuses, so you can see those. But let me get some others swatched that I actually used on my eyes more. Okay, got some stuff swatched. So I also wore this on my lids a lot. I wore these as blending colors. This is what I have on my eyes right now. That on my lids, these as blending colors, and then this as a liner. So it's still really liking that smudgy sort of liner. So that's what I've got going on today. I mean, look at these swatches. Beautiful. I really like this color. It's like a pinky copper, rose gold sort of a color that's just really beautiful. But do you see the kind of springy vibe and feel to it? So neutral, but moving a little bit spring, which is so fun. Love it, love the formula. Great neutral palette, and again, like I said, you know, works great on the cheeks as well. For cheeks, I was reaching for a couple of things. First off, NARS Madly. This is a great neutral blush that really is like a blush bronzer in one. So I have this a little bit lower on my cheeks, kind of as my blush and bronzer. I have had this for a long time and I still love it. It is one of my favorite neutral blushes. I bust it out fairly regularly, I would say. See, it's very bronzer looking. I mean, you could use this as a bronzer. I mean, and I did today. I used it up on my forehead, used it kind of on my neck. So it can be that one and done blush and bronzer, or you can use it as your bronzer and then use a different blush with it. Great formula. It's kind of more satiny. So really flattering on the cheeks. I love NARS blushes and I feel like they wear very well. So if you are looking for a blush that has good wear time on it, I feel like they don't fade and just really adhere to the cheeks and wear well throughout the day. So this is a good one for any time of year just because it does look so bronzer-ish. But especially for the warmer months, if you're going for that bronzy, glowy sort of a makeup look, this one is really a pretty one for that. the packaging gets so dirty and just blah looking. So that's probably the one thing about it is this packaging. Just everything sticks to it. But I like the product inside. And then, ooh, this is so pretty from Pixie. They sent this to me a while ago. This is the Pixie Glow Cake in Gilded Bear Glow. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. And you can use this in so many different ways. As you can see, it kind of transitions from a sort of bronzer color to a blushy color to a highlight color. So I have this mainly from right here on my cheeks as my blush, and then I have kind of right in here as my highlighter today. But I did wear it more concentrated in this area some days, so it can kind of be more of that sort of like Madly, like that blush bronzer or straight up bronzer sort of a product. So I'm going to try to show you from the different sections. So I swatched a little bit over there, swatched a little bit there, and then I'll swatch a little bit here. Oh my goodness, so pretty. I mean, look at that highlighter part. Wowza. Now, it's glowy. I mean, even the bronzer kind of part of the product is still glowy. So you're gonna definitely get a glowy looking cheek. So it's very pretty by itself, but I like it the most the way that I have it on today with kind of more of a satiny sort of product like Madly, because I feel like it gets a little bit super over the top glowy if you just wear it by itself. So I like to mostly pair it with something else, but some days, you know, some days I'm going for full on glowy. But you can see, even right here, it's got that light catching glow to it, but really so pretty. I mean, I just love it. Oh, and then this is kind of more on the peachy side. So really fun for getting into the warmer months. And then the highlighter part is kind of like icy champagne. It really gets pretty light. So beautiful. I mean, it almost looks like a white. Pretty, pretty. But let me show you quickly, just kind of like right in here. Let me show you that right there. If you kind of mix them, then it's more kind of peachy champagne. It's just such a pretty glowy product. And then for lips, are you tired of hearing about these yet? Hopefully not, because here comes another one. This is another one of the Maybelline Ultimattes. I just have been wearing these constantly. This week, I mean, I'm still using more buff, more mauve. I still love those. This one is more taupe. So I've got that one on today. And this one's really cool because, well, you can honestly use any of them in this way, but I did this one especially where you can go full on with it, which is how I have it on right now, or you can kind of like tap it on your lips and just sort of move your lips together and get a little bit of a wash of color and a little bit more of like a stain. So that is definitely an option with it. I mean, this is such a pretty kind of brownie neutral. It does have a little bit more warmth to it than I would describe as a taupe to typically have. I kind of think of more taupe as a little bit more gray, whereas this is slightly rusty kind of colored. Now there is a more rust color, so don't get that confused. And that one is definitely more, you know, terracotta, rusty red. This one is more of that kind of, I would describe this as more of a warm brown, but it is beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it. Super pigmented. It is good. Now this one I did bring in a lip liner to kind of like perfect the edges just a little bit, because I do find this particular color to, and I don't know how to describe this, it almost kind of like catches on, I guess, the texture around my lips or something. So I wanted to kind of perfect the line just a little bit. So what I did is I got a lip liner and the one I grabbed, and honestly the color really doesn't even match that well, but I'll tell you what I did. This is the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Almond Rose. So just kind of got it and it went along the outsides, and it's almost like it grabs the lip color and sort of distributes that into a more precise position and location on the lips, if that even makes sense. So it's more just kind of moving the lip color product versus you seeing this color, because I'll show you a quick swatch. This is more on the pinky mauve side. I mean, it still goes with it, but you can see it's a different color. It's more pinky. So anywho, all that to say, you're really not seeing much of the liner. That's what I'm trying to say. But I am just stinking in love with these, and I just keep wearing them constantly. They're awesome, matte. If you like a matte lipstick, that's really what these are in a really good presentation. Packaging color, that it's more of a skinny lip color. It's just so good, and they're so affordable. Okay guys, so those are all my favorites. So hope that you really enjoyed this video. Please hit a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what you've been loving lately, or maybe not so much loving. Let me know what you've been up to recently. I would love to hear that. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video.